Expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
You better be afraid of me.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. The tight end Kelce has it over the middle. Kelce, such a valuable part of this offense. Made the Pro Bowl the last 4 seasons. 2018 being the most productive when he went over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and a great relationship. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And some room to roam now.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a
the broadcast out.
For a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And this will be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
That's dangerous. Have Mac on the
They
end.
have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Down to lose 1.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. And Mahomes This is going to go down.
I hate that shit.
In the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle,
Yeah, like,
that
I
was
have plenty of
discussed
space
when they
to
called the
stop the
play.
throw.
Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
This is brought in at the 21. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs. So you grab as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they've got it staring at a 3rd down and 13. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well. Trying to make it 9 in a row. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set the tone for many of the other backs in the league.
It's caught inside the 25. For a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Chiefs strike quickly.
See, I can't get that play to work.
Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran at the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw, Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running back.
Cousins already get fucked up by it. He probably get messed up by Khalil Mack.
Third and long for Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Oh, I had
50 yards on the punt.
That got blocked
with
there.
7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Check.
On 2nd down and 4, Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Yeah.
In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill.
Oh, damn
Unable
it.
to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins open,
give him
too.
every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized for the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Meanwhile,
He's
the
lucky
run
he
on
went
first
down
down
there.
really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh,
the struggles
damn.
continue for this offense among the line. What
He got
can
hit
they
by
do?
Eric
Change the play
Berry,
calling?
Khalil Mack,
I
and
think
Luke
part
Kuechly
of
was
that,
coming up
yes,
with him,
changing
too.
some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield.
He about got hurt sandwich.
And slip things in behind them, so some quick passes could work as well.
Cousins now from the 50. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Luke Kuechly with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Watch out for Hill on the return.
Cousins is running scared right now.
Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here now a look at LaShawn McCoy. Now the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the 2nd quarter.
And a lot of that is prop.
They've got his man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Mahomes firing complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
You don't want this. You gotta go, baby. Hey, you don't want to smoke. You don't want it. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Yellow, yellow. Hitting the mirrors back and go full strip.
Mahomes going to go on fourth down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on fourth down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. Throwing is Cousins, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Third down, Dalvin Cook, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Britton
Why are they
now.
running on 3rd and 15?
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And trotting back out onto the field, Travis Kelce, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
I hate that shit.
Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one's kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And guy that wasn't even supposed to be on the route.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
Oh, goes out of nowhere.
This one all the way down inside the 20. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. First red zone chance now for the Vikings.
You don't have the guy wide open and then he goes over all of a sudden.
16.
Yeah. He's supposed to be following David Watkins' life, really.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
He moves all of a sudden.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D.
Cousins to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And Bailey able to knock it through. And high fives for that one, as that drive ends in 3. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal. Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. To try again after the sack. Mahomes under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They go play fake. Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep over. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is
fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. So there you have it.
Oh, my
Halftime
God.
quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken
Still
at
kicking their ass.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They fell last week at the hands of the Washington Redskins, but they've got the lead right now. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Cousins. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11 now. Cousins into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
On first down, Hunt. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
I hate that shit.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Cousins now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Now Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll run on first down. It's Hunt. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
54's Mike. Check. Watch.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing now is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. 5 plays there on that drive. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he'll find Thielen on the right side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen?
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins now. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
12 yards on the return that time. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Flushed out right. He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, check.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well, what we call the...
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Stephen Weatherly able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. We're back now in KC. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Mahomes now to throw, and that's caught. It's Kelce. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after, right down the middle. And my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Bailey got the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From just shy of midfield, Mahomes. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
That is the question.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Let's go, D. Big series right here.
Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Third and short yardage. Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
First down. Here's Cousins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Morris Claiborne, the former #1 pick of the Cowboys there defensively. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Cousins again. Now they go screen. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Throwing, Cousins. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. On first down, punt, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On play action, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Two first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field, and he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase him. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Khalil Mack. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to make it 4th down. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
And out now come the Vikings. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Kansas City, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
You fucked them up.